me something tall and strong, make it a hurricane.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 22 of the Palmcast. Pretty excited about this one. It's summertime is in full swing, so really excited to finally have an opportunity to kind of get into the summer mood. So before we get started, Teddy, can you take us away?
Absolutely. Glad to be back again. I like I don't know. It's not that we don't talk all the time anyways, but this is a for everybody, like we're doing the episode, we're making the podcast, but it's a chance for me and you to talk and BS too. So glad to see you again. And I like doing the episodes on our Sunday ritual here. But as always, this episode of the Palmcast is proudly sponsored by Nelson Plant Food. For over 30 years, Nelson has been providing high quality fertilizer trusted by growers, landscapers, and gardeners alike. Whether you're planting palms, growing from seed, or maintaining established landscapes, Nelson Plant Food delivers nutrients your plants need to thrive. Visit nelsonplantfood.com, all one word, to learn more and support the companies that support the palm community. Man, I was thinking about this. Not that I don't know, like I mean I guess we are in kind of cahoots with Nelson, but we need to see if they'll put like a sponsorship tab or whatever. So like if people order through the
Yeah.
Palmcast,
Yep.
um, they can at least track some analytics, you know?
I did think about that. Yeah, and I think they had mentioned at some point they would start doing that, but I think that's a good idea because I have seen a
And
lot of people that have asked that have purchased. It'd be good to track and see if we're actually making a difference, man. I'd like to think that we are, but who knows?
yeah, I think so.
I think so. So what's new, man?
Just been busy like crazy. That's probably the theme of my life, I think, and yours too. Um, yeah, day job's been crazy. Um, haven't been having orders like crazy for the nursery as well. Summertime, like you said. So just now, like um, you hopped on early, and I was still thinking 12:30, and I was outside mowing, like, oh crap, and here we are. But there's not a spare minute in my day. It seems like I'm always busy. I was watching you pot up some palms the other day, and I grabbed a couple community pots, and I got one done. I did um North Carolina sable palmetto, so Bald Head Island, but it's like this one is from second generation, so the seeds are like third generation. But
Yeah.
um, got those potted up, and then what was the next one I grabbed? Can't even remember. But again, so busy. I'm behind, haven't been able to get all my work done. What about you?
Uh, so a couple of things. One, starting tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, I realized that this is episode 21, not 22. So I have to change that. I said 22. Um, so tomorrow,
Episode 122. Nice.
that'd be great, wouldn't it? It'll get there. No, so tomorrow, we actually are going to get water at the ranch, so that's going to be amazing.
Ooh,
We got a water meter at the road, and now we got 2,000 feet of 2-inch PVC to go from the road to our cabin in the area where we'll be doing all of the things. So a lot of exciting stuff's going to be happening there. Hopefully, at some point be able to do a lot more out there and move part of the operation out there and scale and all that kind of stuff. So that's exciting. That's 2 months in the making, I believe, 2.5 months in the making. And then also just like you, I'm busy as usual, but finally got to potting up all my Tamaulipensis were the first ones I did. Then we did some Burke County sables from Tom. I love those. Those things are beautiful seedlings. They're thick and they're light green. I love them. And then I potted up some Tracky Tisans. So that was fun. I haven't potted up Trackies ever actually, so that was kind of interesting. It felt
you
weird.
did that, man.
It felt
I know you're the Sable King and all, but I'm telling you, just mark my word, the gentleman's bet, you're gonna sell out of those really quick.
I would think so. Yeah, I think I've got 12 or 16 or something like that, but I'll be getting more seeds and I'll do more of those next year. And then I actually potted up. So I got some of the seeds from the Praha Sables.
Yeah,
And Ryan sent me some from Praha 1, 2, and 3. And I think only Praha 3 germinated out of all of them. So I got two. So I don't know what to do with those yet. I'm going to grow them. And then I also potted up our Mexicanas, which is interesting because you don't see a lot of Mexicanas being sold for some reason. And the ones that we
seriously.
have are from Tony here in Dallas. So it's good genetics. I sold out of all of my Mexicanas that we potted up 2 years ago. And man, some of them I was only selling them for I think 25 or 30 bucks a piece, but they were easily between a 1 and a 3 gallon, almost characteristic fronds. Like they were pretty solid looking. I sold out of all of them. So Tony sent me a huge bag of those. And since, the last time you and I have done this episode where we talked about just palms and pictures, I went from like a couple of Louisianas sold to basically I have like 15 or 20 left. So I sold out of almost all my Louisianas. And then I got a huge bag of them that I'm now germinating as well. So I got to get, you and I always talk about getting back to our roots and grow the stuff that people keep asking for.
It's true. So before I forget, shout out to Joe Levert, the mayor of Burke County. I know he's watching.
Joe and
Um,
Tom are going to love that one. Yeah.
no, Mexicana is one of those weird ones. Like, if anybody's in the hobby, you see kind of patterns that happen. So, like, Brachia armata, right? You
Yep.
can't find small ones.
No.
There's nowhere to be found. And that was what like was really enticing to me and kind of pushed me to get that big community pot,
Yeah.
um, and separate them and pot them up and start selling them. I wonder. I got to reach out to that guy on. I forget what his real name is. Maybe Scott or something on Palm Talk. I haven't
AZ
talked to him in a
Tropic.
while. Is that who it is?
Yeah, AZ Tropic. Yeah, you had
Yeah, yeah,
sent
yeah.
me a Bermudana from his probably 3 years ago. And it's, man,
Yep.
I wish I had my phone that I can go outside and show you. It's a beautiful size now. It's got to be like a 5 to 7 gallon at this point. It's a
Nice.
solid
Very
palm.
good.
So yeah. Yeah, man.
But yeah. So you can't find. So you can't find Brahia Armada. I was like, oh my God, there's a niche right there. I need to get in that untapped market, sell some small ones. But what you can find out west is like gigantic, like 10 foot of clear trunk.
Yep.
Somehow there's just nurseries that I guess they're just field growing them. And
Yep.
that's the same thing if you haven't realized with Mexicano. Like in
Yeah.
Texas, I'll see ads a lot from nurseries and they're like, have them stacked up,
Yeah.
regenerated, but
Yep.
like huge, like however much you're going to pay for them, thousands of dollars, right? But where can you get a 1 gallon or a 3 gallon? No, literally nowhere.
Yep.
Nobody has them except for you, and I've got some. That's it. Maybe Tom McClendon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, man. Like I always wonder why that is, why some things are so widely available and some things are just kind of forgotten about. And you and I have seen trends, right? Where I thought the Pumos, I would have sold out of those a long time ago, but I still have a bunch of them. People just don't seem to be terribly excited by like a incredibly rare palm that, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, if we don't 100% know how hardy it is, if we haven't grown it out for a longer period of time, probably a little bit of healthy skepticism of I don't know if I want to own it.
Yeah, yeah. I always have to remember that too. As we talk about these things, like your experience and mine, are a little bit different than your average like palm hobbyist. Like,
Oh yeah.
we have money and time invested in all of our stuff, but if you grab something off the shelf or you grab two of each off the shelf of everything you've got, you don't even notice the difference. So if you kill it, it's not even a big deal. But if somebody's going to invest money in it and that might be the only palm they get or one of like three or four this year, I
Yep.
can see why they would want to, be a little reserved if, you know,
I 100% agree. Yeah, absolutely. So, um let's I think we had a lot of positive feedback the last time we did this episode where it was basically just 2 hours of pictures and really trying to zero in on some of these palms. Do you I know you have some pictures. Do you want to start to dive into some of these and just go into some photos?
I do. It's my turn. Because you shared pictures, well, a few times, a couple episodes now, and I've always been on my phone, and that's what I was telling you. Like, this is just me with my life that's just overwhelming sometimes. I've got
Yeah.
like 6,000 pictures on my phone from all the plants that I've ever planted. It's not categorized. Some stuff is for like listing plant pictures on eBay and Etsy and stuff like that, or on Facebook, but for the
Yep.
most part, it's just a historical lineage from, basically when I started with plants until now. So finally, yesterday, like I told you, we were talking about it. I started putting moving some pictures over to my computer, and we'll look at some dive in deep and see some of my stuff from the beginning to where we're at now. Before I do that, and I will, we were talking about getting some t-shirts going. So here's a Teddy's Nursery t-shirt. This is the logo I've got right now. I don't even know if I like it so much. I think I might want to change it actually, but we've been talking about doing picture or t-shirts forever, and we still got to figure that out. I don't like the vendor that made these t-shirts, so I'm gonna throw one on and throw the brand out there because this is probably something we don't do enough.
Yep.
But for everybody listening, we talk about all the plants we're growing. Make sure to check out Sable King of Texas .etsy.com. That's Tom's shop. He has got all the palms that you could obviously want. And all the ones you can't find there, I might have some. Check out my eBay, Teddy's Nursery, and get yourself some plants. But that's not the main reason that we do the Palmcast, but it is, it ties in here. We're getting people that are hobbyists and palm growers and palm lovers, and we grow them and we've got them as well. So check those out. So let's see
Let's
if we
do
can
it,
get
man.
into
Let's see,
some.
dude. I love that. You've been in this hobby longer than me, technically, by a bit. So I love seeing some of the stuff that you have going on because you have more age than I do on these things. So I love it.
So here, let's get this started here. So this is how almost everybody gets started in the cold hardy palm game is windmills.
Dragon.
This is where I started. Those are the first two palms that I ever bought and grew. And if anybody watches my YouTube videos, you'll see as we go through these pictures that my whole yard and landscape is completely transformed from now until we get to the end. But um, I tell people this, and we've talked about it on the Palmcast, and this is something that you say a lot, and I'm a firm believer, and I follow by this as well. Is I'll share all the things that I've done wrong as well, because that's how we grow and that's how we learn. Is you have to make mistakes.
Oh yeah.
if if I just listened to all of your successes and I tried to replicate them here, it doesn't mean that I would be successful because we live in two different areas, you know? So
Hey Teddy,
my
before
point,
you go further, can I show you something?
yeah, please
I
do it.
I like how you said this. So you said everybody starts on windmills. So
Yeah,
this was our backyard when we did our pool, and when before a single palm was in the ground. This is my backyard, and you can tell what I have here, right? So everybody starts on windmills. Everybody.
of course.
Isn't that
No,
something?
yeah, seriously, that's how it is. If at least back then, I don't know, I haven't searched the internet as a beginner in a long time, but when I did, if you look up cold hardy palms, windmills like that, it's just flooded on the internet. Like
That's it.
it is the most cold hardy palm, and as we know, it's not the truth, you know?
No, well, and I think, part of my story, and here I'll show you one other thing. But this is my pool when it was being built back in August to October of 2020, when we first bought this house in the Dallas area. And you can see exactly what people uh
Hold
brought
on,
to
I
me.
can't see your screen. Hold on. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I got a bunch of trackies. This one's still alive. This one's still alive. This one perished, and then there's one over here, and then one back off the picture. So only two are alive. But if you notice here, I said cold hardy palms, and take a look at what this guy brought me.
Washingtonia.
Robustas, man. So
Yeah,
as you
not even
know,
foliferas.
not even, oh yeah, I mean you can't find those, right? So he just got Robusta. So the first, 2021 comes around and I lose everything. So that's what started me in my hobby.
Is that where right where those pots are is like basically where they got planted though?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's get back into it here.
Man, I
Share.
have so many pictures to show. This is kind of silly. I just realized I have a lot of pictures from a long
All right,
time
can you
ago.
see it again?
I
Can you
can.
see the
Yep.
windmills, Tom?
Yep.
All
All
right,
good.
so windmills, I think they lasted two winters, and then they died. But as everybody can see, this this wood wall over here and this little kicker wall, all these got replaced. Everything in here as we go, you'll see. So I shared this because it'll make sense in a minute. Um, this was actually all completely concrete, just like right here. And I cut all this concrete out and I built this whole bed just to plant my rostradas in, my yucca rostradas, which we'll get to that in a minute. So like this was the first winter of those same windmill palms. And this was my like protection that I built. I built like a little mini greenhouse around them, which ended up what it did was during the daytime, the sun's obviously coming through this plexiglass and just smoking them. It was super hot in there. And then there's no heat and no way to keep them warm.
Yep.
So at night, it lost all of its heat and got super cold. And this was just, again, this is how we learn. This was me learning. This was me making mistakes and starting to kill windmill palms. I think I'm up to like 13 now that I've killed.
Look at you.
Um, but yeah, here they are. Here's a better view. So here's my this is me starting in my landscaping hobby as well. So when we moved in, my entire yard was just all grass. Everything was grass.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to see this transformation over time as we go through these pictures. And you're going to see me getting better at obviously landscaping and me getting rid of grass because it's not that I don't like grass, but I like grass where it should be, and I like plants and landscaping where that should be. So this right here, if everybody can notice, this Yucca gloriosa, if you can see my mouse cursor on it, from all these plants, that one's still alive and still in the ground, and we'll see it later in these pictures.
Oh my God.
That is my biggest needle palm. That is basically right when it got planted, like maybe a month after it got
Wow.
planted.
Wow. That's
So that was
incredible.
a blue pot special from Home Depot when they were selling those in the blue pots. Did you ever see those in Texas or no?
No, and I always still wonder why. I've seen pictures of that, but I always wonder like why did they stop that? What happened?
I have no idea. I don't know, and I wish they had maybe 20 or 30. I wish I would have bought more because this was like such a good bloodline of
20 or 30?
yeah, that were there at Home Depot. Yeah.
Holy cow.
And
Buy
and
them
again,
all.
this was me being reserved though. Like I'm like hesitant, like, will this even live? I don't know. It should,
Man.
so this was just like people watching, they might be hesitant on like Pumos or some of the other stuff we're offering for sale. And that was me being hesitant, which I could have planted these on my roof and they would have been fine. But you can see I just dug a hole in the grass and that changes later. So again, another picture. This is a big needle palm that I bought pretty big. That died. This is a Dazzlery and Wheeler Eye that died. But that Yucca Gloriosa right in the middle is still there. So this is that finished.
2015.
Yeah, this is that bed finished for the yucca rostradas. So you can see one in this back corner right here, the bigger one. And if you look close, there's some right here above the 2015. There's one, and there's another one right here. How those two survived, I really, looking back, I don't know because I didn't know a lot about plants, like as far as being in the ground and desert plants. I built these beds to get them high and dry for drainage, but I didn't offer them any protection. I didn't put a bucket over them or anything, and luckily they lived. Um, so this is after the first winter for that needle palm, and it doesn't look too bad in this picture, but there's another picture. The main trunk, I lost this main trunk. It got spear pull and lost it, and the
Now,
little.
so
Go ahead.
talk about that a little bit, right? Because you just kind of gloss over that, but that's a common issue in young needles, right? So people don't get discouraged when the first 1 to 2 winters you tend to have spear pull, right?
Yep. And that's almost you're almost gonna it's inevitable if at least if you're in a cold area.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's not that needle palm can't handle the cold, but that first winter that it's in the ground, it's really sensitive and susceptible to cold damage. So what happened to me is all this main trunk right here, you can see the trunk beneath that brown leaf, and then all this foliage up here, everything died back and what I've got left came back from all these pups. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It does not mean it's a sure sign of death, and it doesn't mean that needle palm's less cold hardy than its reputation. But Sable Minor, at least at first, is more cold hardy the first few winters. And needle
correct.
palm, it takes a little bit of time to get kind of its legs under it before it gains its cold hardiness. You got to baby them a little bit at first. Let's see. So here we go. Now the landscape's looking a little bit better. Took all that wood down and I replaced, pretty much exactly if you remember how the wood was stacked.
Yeah.
Replaced that little kicker wall with these landscaping bricks, and then did this little curved one. So if you look down here, this is a Sabal, Louisiana that I planted. I'll have and all these pictures will make sense when we get to the end. Um, who cares about your landscaping and all that stuff? But there's a reason because all these pictures that I found are going to be showing this progression from going small to big. So this is like the oldest picture I could find, Sable, Louisiana down there, and then this is my big Sable Birmingham up here.
Ah,
So we're going to show that more pictures of that. This Apuntia here, which people like or don't like, but when you're in a colder area, you've got to kind of diversify your landscape a little bit. You can't just do palms because we don't have too many options. And you'll see this progress as well. This ended up getting scale really bad and transferring it to my palms. So that immediately my palms are more valuable. So I tore the hell out of that Apuntia and it went in the compost pile. Let's see. This is another needle palm. This is my second biggest one. And this is like on another corner of the house, but I got some progression videos of that one as well. Let's see. So here's that same first needle palm again. So you can see the pups look really good. And that main trunk, all this foliage is dying back because that main trunk got killed. This is that second needle palm again. This might be a year later. So I think most of the pictures go in order. And if they don't, and it gets a little confusing, I'll fill in the gaps here. Um, Yeah, this was after I did all that the landscaping, and these are those two original windmill palms that we saw. So this one, the bigger one, looks a little bit better. They were both the same size. This one took winter damage and didn't really come back. And I think this next year, this bigger one, this was probably like the last year that they looked good.
who'd you get them from?
Ooh, that's a good question.
See,
I
that's how
don't
good
I
the
don't remember.
availability is. See, that's how
Yeah, I
good
don't
the
remember.
availability. Yep.
I was at the mercy of whoever had stuff back then, to be honest with you.
I know.
Um, yeah, we're trying to change that. So here,
Absolutely.
this is that same original needle palm that you guys saw that I said the main trunk died. So this is the main trunk was here and now it's gone, and these are the pups coming back and starting to look good and take over. So this is a year later. This is the second year, yeah. And then after this whole growing season, so this is in the fall, September 19th, yeah. Um, Same
Wow.
September 19th. Here's the
This is
restrada in the
Rostrata.
back, looking good. Somehow this little one survived. Um, and those are still there today. Keep going. So here's this needle palm that I showed the other picture of. This one took a beating, but look, the yucca filamentosas look great, no damage. I ended up tearing those out because that's another thing is like the needle palm got really big and the filamentosas started, taking over and multiplying. Something had to go. And this was just me with, you talk about this a lot with plant crowding and figuring out
Oh,
your dimensions between plants that you need to um plan for mature size. So again, this is me. Everybody's seeing everything raw right now. This is from where I went to where I am today, and I've learned along the way. It's not like anybody that's really good at planting palms or has a good landscape appeared in the hobby and knew everything. A lot of people like to give that false impression on Facebook, but it's not true. Don't believe it. All these people have killed palms and made mistakes. Yeah,
look
so
at
we've jumped
that.
way ahead here. This
Look
is
at
what the
that.
Rostradas look like. Not even now. This is a couple of years ago.
Hey, do you
Um,
have when people come to your house who don't know you
yeah,
all that well, do people look at that and go, Is that a palm tree? And how the heck do you have that thing?"
yeah. Everybody thinks that those are palm trees, but what they also think is a common statement is when do you dig them up and put them in your garage for the winter?
Like a
And
Bavaria.
yeah, exactly. That's what people really think here in Tennessee. And as everybody can see in my yard on my YouTube videos and stuff, I always say this, I'm the first to admit the things that I do protect, the things that I have trouble with, and the things that do really well. And these are something that you don't have to worry about here, but nobody in Tennessee knows about it. Nobody, like zero. I think there's some people, maybe Knoxville has some like publicly planted rostradas. But other than that, nobody knows. Yeah, so here, let's see. Yeah, you can see
Oh my yuccas.
um the yucca's doing well again, and that needle palm just got beat to the ground. And it came back, obviously, but something had to go, so those yuccas went. So
Mm.
here's yeah, this was I think I was making like a collage video for YouTube. So I had some of these that were already dated. But you can see the
That's a good
rostradas
restaurant.
coming up.
Yeah. I love yucca rostradas, by the way. I really they're beautiful, beautiful plants.
Yeah, awesome. Carefree, never
Yeah.
have to water them.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Here's that needle palm again, same one. We can start to pick up the speed and start going through these a little bit. Here's that Sabal, Louisiana. That's right in that corner. And then right up above it, behind it is where that Birmingham is. So now you can
Oh.
see the landscapes coming together a little bit. Now you can see the windmills over here looking
Ooh.
ratty,
Ooh.
terrible. They're
Oh my
about to
gosh.
go. But look what is going well. The Puntia's
Puncha,
taking
yeah.
off. Yucca Gloriosa up here, still there, is going good. That little Sable, Louisiana there in the back. You can see the Sable Birmingham behind the variegated um, yucca. So there's a common trend here of things that do well and don't do well at my
Yep.
house. Yeah, that's the Birmingham. So there we
Wow.
go. Now we're a couple years later. We're 3 years into the needle palm. That's what it looks like after 3 winters. It's in May, and those are just the pups that are coming back and making it or growing it as well. Um, so now this is me, a picture of me starting the next bed up here. So we saw pictures of like the bed over here. This is the next bed of me just moving up. And this was in my phase where I'm like, let me do red mulch.
I was
And all the red mulch disappeared as well. No more red mulch.
I was gonna make a comment about the red mulch.
Yep. Yep. People always make fun of their dang red mulch. I don't know why I did it.
Had
But
to
I
do
almost like instantly regretted it after I did it and never did it again.
it.
So here's 2 years later from that. That's that same needle palm right on the corner. Now it's starting to look like something.
Yeah. Heck yeah, it
But
is.
that's 5 years from a 1 gallon.
It's unbelievable.
So you get people, if you're watching, you gotta commit to the hobby. It takes time. There's no instantaneous gratification, as Tom always says. And if everybody like if you take anything from the stuff that I'm posting here and you carry it over to what Tom's going to show you. Tom started small, so did I, and it takes a long time to get to where we're at. All right, so here's that Louisiana back there. Now it's got some legs under it, looks a little bit better.
Yep.
Notice no more windmill palms. They're all dead and gone.
Wah, wah, wah.
Here's that Birmingham up above it against the house. Yep, another shot. Here's some just mixing in stuff. Here's some kale in there that I grew. Here's that right behind the kale is that same Yucca gloriosa. Let's see. I think yeah, we showed a picture 2019. So here we go. This might be the next year after that. Needle palms getting big. Look how tall that Apuntia was that year.
It's huge.
Standing up straight.
It's
Um,
and it's all filling in too. It looks nice.
yep. Yeah, so like if everybody remembers from the first picture that, didn't look too great. Now the landscape's starting to look like something. And you've got to add in other stuff too. So this little touch of red over here is those canna lilies. Here's all the way on the right next to the needle palm is like a mugo pine. These are right next to the Apuntia's three different spirea bushes. Here's a yucca estrada right there in the corner. I ended up digging this up and moving it up here, up to the top, which we'll show later. But this is me just experimenting, and as soon as you get beds in here and you get grass torn out of the way, there's so much room to experiment and plant different kinds of stuff. So this is much later. Again, sorry, the pictures are going out of order a little bit, but this is closer to what the needle palm looks like now. So if you can imagine it being that 1 gallon, and now it looks similar to this. This might have been last year or the year before, I think. Sorry, we jumped ahead. Yeah,
That's okay.
2024. So that's 10 years. That took 10 years to go from a 1 gallon to go to that size.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Just takes time, man.
A lot of folks don't want to
Um,
take time, Teddy. It's part of the
I
problem.
know.
It's part of the
So
problem.
if anybody's seen my greenhouse, this is closer to when the walls were pretty much done. But that was another dang journey. If that wasn't a progression, I wish these pictures would have went in order, but they numbered them really weird.
Yeah.
Oh my God, jumped way ahead. Um, but this is close to the walls being finished. That was like a
Cool.
4 year endeavor to get that done. Um, but it's part of the process
Hard
and
work. Hard work, man. I
hard
love
work.
it.
Everybody can see a lot of these potted palms. This is me getting into growing palms for sale at this point. Yeah, so there's 2020. Sorry again, these are out of order. I apologize. But you can see now we're going. So we did 14, so that's 6 years in from 1 gallon. Here's that Sabal, Louisiana, Sabal Birmingham up above it. the Birmingham just the Louisiana never's gotten damaged from the cold, so the Birmingham struggled behind it a little bit. There's that Apuntia looking really nice. This is about the nicest that it's ever looked. Can see it flowers and then the Sparea bush. Can add different stuff in your landscape. There it is again, probably another year later, that Louisiana starting to fill out. It has some inflorescence full of seeds. Now those Rostradas are looking really nice. So that's 2020. 2021, another year for that needle palm. And that's when that Louisiana really started looking nice. I try to tell people to grow more of those and try them out at least into zone 7. At least, zone 6B for sure. You need to try them. Tom still has some really good ones, so hit up Sable King of Texas, get some Louisianas. There's that Birmingham that's probably right around the same time, and you can just notice the winter damage that this thing would take. So this was when we were still having mild winters here, and
Yeah.
no protection on this thing. It looks more ratty than the Louisiana for sure, but this was just that like warmer era of winters that we were having, and now we're in this colder era where a lot of my stuff takes a lot more damage than it used to. There's Stable Miner McCurtain. Why I planted it right in that protected corner against the wall, I don't know, but there it is. I should have planted like a palmetto there.
Yeah.
Um, this is when I tore out this other garage door. So that this white garage door on the right is what this was here. I built this bed in the front, literally just to grow palmettos in. Walled, framed up this opening for this window, put a window in, finished it, literally just to grow palmettos. So if anybody else thinks that they're a palm nerd and they've got a palm problem, you're talking to a guy that has a palm problem right here for sure too. So there
Wow.
we go. Nice
That.
shot of the landscape. Starting to look better, right?
Yeah.
First the beginning when we just had grass and little dinky plants. Needle palm. So yeah, here's that same Yucca gloriosa.
Yeah.
Um, McCurtain on the left in the back, and then behind the it's obscured right there, but is the Birmingham behind that. Here's last year, 2025. Big Rostradas, that's what they're looking like, pretty much now. Needle palm just blown under the deck. It's so big, so could barely walk behind it.
That's crazy.
Um,
If you stumble down there on accident, man, that thing will take an eye out.
oh, absolutely, for sure, no kidding. That's when I started
Wow.
trimming the Rostradas. This is the back view from under my deck.
How do you trim those?
Man, just literally with a pair of scissors, and it like causes blisters on my fingers because you snip so many leaves, it's not even funny.
Interesting.
That's a job in itself. It's
How high do you want them to be before you trim them? And if you don't trim them, they just essentially keep all their leaves until at some point they just kind of die and droop down.
Yeah, like you can see the ones in the bottom that have laid
Yeah.
down flat, the brown ones.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would argue with me and say I trimmed them too much because all these were like at least semi-green leaves. But the problem is that these like black out the sunlight from getting down into this
Yeah.
bed. So I've
Yeah.
like kind of every year trimmed them a little bit.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Um, it's probably excessive though, at this point at least, the way they look. But you can see there's a shot from the other side.
They look good. I like them.
Yeah, I like them. So here's the next bed up towards the front of the house of me progressing up the hill because one plant's not enough and 10's definitely not enough. So you got to just keep making more room and growing more plants. There's me behind palmetto.
Look at that.
That thing this year is unbelievably big. Um, here's that Louisiana again. Here's another Sable, Louisiana in the front, and that palmetto in the back. There's that Sable Minor McCurtain, looking a little bigger in this picture. This is still a few years back, maybe 3 years ago. There's another yucca that I planted, and there it's surrounded by milkweed there. But that's a Rostrata by Thomsoniana hybrid. So
Wow.
this is something else, just for everybody watching. If you're in a colder area, you want trunking palms and you can't grow them, this is another option that you have is trunking yuccas for sure. Here's that bed that we just showed a few pictures ago. Let me actually go back. That one, that's when it's finished. And this is that Rostrata I dug up. That was in kind of in the corner back there that I pointed out before. I dug it up and I put it up here in a better spot. Um,
How easy are those, or how well do they transplant?
oh my gosh, it like literally yuccas are probably the easiest thing to transplant.
Okay.
You can you can just cut a piece, you could cut the top off of um a yucca and uh and just get like the leaves out of the way, basically the bottom leaves,
Uh-huh.
plant it in a pot and it'll just regrow roots and you'll be all set and good to go.
And the one you cut is gonna grow as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'll just branch off and grow multiple heads from the bottom.
Interesting.
Yeah, yuccas are awesome in that regard for sure.
Huh.
This is that other needle palm. Uh, a few years after that, um, planted a patio peach next to it. This is actually, so this is the female, yeah, because this is the one that holds seeds. And the other one that's close to the deck is a male. That one pollinates this one. I don't know, every other year or so I'll get seeds. Um, it would be, it would work better if I hand pollinated. Just let them do their thing. Here's that Louisiana again. This is when it's starting to build up a base and why I took the picture under it. And it's way bigger now. It's unreal. Um, this bed that I built where I said I took out the garage door.
Yeah.
These are the palmettos that I
Palmettos, yeah.
planted in there. Yep. That's the one on the left.
Who'd you get
That's
those
the one
from?
on the right. I think I dug these up. No, I didn't dig them up. I got them from Jungle Music from Phil.
Really? He sells
Yep, yep,
palmettos?
yep. Oh yeah. You're gonna pay quite a bit of money to get them. I'll just say that, not to knock them or anything. Before we came around, a lot of people, you got to get plants where you can get them. Um, he's more of, into cycads and selling bigger sizes and stuff like that. But
Yep.
yeah, he's got a little bit of a selection of sables as well. Let's see. This is the biggest palmetto that I've got. Yeah. This is that one that I was standing behind.
Oh,
That's maybe 2 years after. Yeah, this is after its first winter at least. There's that Birmingham, my biggest Birmingham.
is
So
your
it's looking
Birmingham,
pretty.
is it trunking yet?
This year it's just starting to, yeah.
I love
Like
it.
like it's looking good. I'll send you a picture after this and I'll post it on Facebook. Everybody can check it out. I haven't taken good pictures this year and like posted them on Facebook. I'll do it.
I love Birmingham's.
I threw this one in here because I found it while I was looking through pictures. That's the Sable Bermudana that's at Plant Delights. That was when I was there in 2021. I took that picture.
Yeah, they call
So
that one
that's in
Lazarus.
yeah, but that's in Raleigh, which they're 8A now. But like you said, this should give you hope at your house for that. Everybody watching's like, why is he jumping around and showing all these different pictures? This was just for you, Tom. I posted those.
It's funny, I saw that video the other day. I think I sent you that video on Facebook too. They showed this thing. And yes, it does give me hope. That's why I posted all three of mine. Just like the Mexicana, they seem to get hardier as they get older. And with size, I have one. I'll show some of my pictures. It's like right in front of my office area. It's my oldest Bermudana. It's probably 7 feet wide at this point, 8 feet wide.
Oh, no kidding. Maybe I haven't seen them in a while. Yeah, I'd love to see the pictures.
That one got big.
So this was in November that we went there. So imagine this thing burns to the ground every year, but it produces that many leaves in one season. That's worth growing, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely have had comments from people who are like, if it gets beaten up, I don't want to grow it. And
Why?
I don't know. I don't
That
know.
doesn't make sense. People grow roses. Roses don't live all year. They get knocked back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like tons of plants that people, all kinds of flowering plants and perennials, they're dieback perennials. That's what they call them. Like I,
I guess they
for
don't want to
me,
start off the year with like nothing, right? Like that was my problem the first couple years on the Bermudanas when they were younger, is they basically would just brown out completely, and I would always cut off everything after it browned out. But now I've learned if I leave the petioles are green, but like the actual fronds themselves are brown, I leave
yeah.
everything, and then once it starts to grow back a crown, it actually doesn't look that bad, to be honest with you.
Now, yeah, no, I agree. Now I'll say this though. I don't want to do that with my whole yard.
Correct. Yeah.
But I'll do it with a few plants for sure. Why not? Because I've got tons of sable minor and needle palms and all kinds of other stuff that stays green.
Yep.
Um, of course I'll do
100%.
it with some plants.
100%.
That's my wife under our Musa Bastiu, our big bananas a couple years ago. So that's how big they can get here. Um,
Those
which
are
is pretty
huge.
big. I think we hit close to like 18, 20 feet that year. And then that's her this so the bananas were right behind her. So this is us cutting them down. So I cut the bananas down right behind her, made her take a picture in front of the bananas first. And then after the bananas were down, I made her take a picture in front of the so this is a rice paper plant, Tetrapanax pacifier, I think is the name of it. But this is like the huge form, the like steroidal giant that Plant Delights put into production. But people can grow these. Our patch now, this is in the fall, like maybe the second year we had it. It's this big now, and it's July, so it's going to be massive this year.
Yeah.
So, I've added in some other pictures like this just to show these are some other plants that you can grow in colder areas. That'll help fill in your landscape if you can't just grow palms. Here's a good snow picture.
Oh, I have a couple of
This
those too.
is what my yard looks like in the wintertime for a few weeks out of the year at least.
Yeah.
But I think it looks cool.
It's
Doesn't look
something. I could, I'm telling
it's
you, Ted,
something.
I'm telling you, Teddy, I can live without snow. I could be
I
happy.
I know, and me and you have been talking about that, and I'm I'm really trying to honestly decide if I'm going to move or not, and I really want to. Uh, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'll just say that. But I could do without the snow as well. I think I'll say that I like it because I have to deal with it.
You have to, as do I.
There's another snow picture, Louisiana here, Birmingham up here. So you can see years ago, I didn't protect anything. That was like yours and my motto of just if it's not going to live here, um, then we're going to dig it out and replace it with something else.
Oh
There's
man,
a nice
I just,
stable miner completely flattened with snow.
I'm going through my pictures just trying to get ready, and I just found like the two most ridiculous progression photos. So yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Here's that stable miner McCurtain. So
There
here's
it
me.
is.
This is my bedroom, and you can see there's snow outside in the picture. But this is how I used to start germinating all the palms. So this is like the first round of me ever really, really germinating stuff for sale. And this is how I did it in my bedroom over the winter time.
Oh,
So so here's me. This is me digging out the dang greenhouse. This is close, I don't know, maybe a year after I started or so. But I literally dug this out with a shovel, and it was this is a good picture because it started with this hill up here, and it was just all grass. And literally every weekend or after work, I would just sit here and dig and excavate with a shovel by myself. And a lot of people will say, this guy's an idiot. This is just literally a fool's errand. And that's fine if you believe that for you. But for me, I had this idea set in my mind that I wanted a nursery and I'm going to build it myself. Whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. And now I've got it and I ship plants to states all around the country. And I'm glad I'm not digging it out anymore and building it, but I'm happy I did it.
it was worth it. Oh,
Here's
I remember this, man. Holy cow.
yeah, this is Sable Row. What
Oh
you
my,
started one and I started one around the same time.
oh my gosh.
And this is that needle palm that's in my driveway, my second biggest one, the female. There's 2022, me and my son giving some water to that needle palm. That's the sable miner McCurtain again. Oh, blurry picture. This agave avatifolia. That's what they look like when they get big. This is zone 7 again where I'm at. These don't get any protection, so you can grow them as well if you're in a cold area. Here's me in the greenhouse, full of palms. That's what it looks like now. I added this picture as well because it's just a good opportunity. This is me and my son this spring at Gary Holler's house. So in between us, this is his biggest sable miner. So everybody argues sable miners aren't worth growing. They're a trash plant. Bull crap. Look at that picture. That is a magnificent palm. And that's why I posted
Incredible.
it on here. It's incredible. Imagine if you had a yard full of those.
Yeah, dude, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. They look fantastic. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's incredible.
at least for me, it's the right size. You know,
Yep.
how tall are you? 5'9", 5'8"?
6'2".
Okay, well, even better. So what?
Yeah.
That thing's what, like
Like,
12 feet tall?
yeah, 12 feet tall. Yeah.
That's incredible. Like, what else do you want? I don't understand.
Yep. I don't know. More Strata pictures. There's that Apunti again. So, Matt, you remember what this thing started out as, like not too big of a plant, and it just spread like crazy. And it took up a lot of real estate just as a cactus. But it was, a cool flowering plant, didn't have to worry about it. But now imagine this thing behind all these other plants. It probably right now at this point it started to have scale and it ended up spreading over the entire plant. And that's what started transferring it to all my palm trees. So I had to just dig this thing up and throw it in the compost. This is pretty close to current. Uh, Maybe this is
Wow.
last year, but this is that palmetto. Um,
There's
Close to how
nothing
it's looking.
there's nothing cooler than watching all these things fill in. And
Oh yeah,
I like that a lot, man. It's just there's something about, being able to be at your place and see all this stuff. And the fact that you've seen it from the beginning and you were the one that planted it is basically nothing. And now it looks like a jungle. Like you got to be careful in there for snakes.
absolutely. It's hard to get through this thing now. And I remember I would post pictures sometimes like on Palm Talk, and people were like, "You're a dummy. You're all your plants are going to be touching." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I want. I want it to look like it does right now
Yeah.
because it looks like a jungle. I like it. I did it on purpose." This is the other side of my house. I don't show this side a lot. but on the left, this palm is a palmetto. It's got like kind of some weeping leaves. And this one on the front center on the right, that is my biggest Mexicana that I've got.
Really? That's
Yep.
a decent. So, do you take care of that one at all?
Yep, that's one of the ones that I have to protect. I, put lights on it, throw frost cloth and a tarp over it at the very least for like this last winter, I had to do it for 10 days. And then this is what it'll look like in the spring. This is from this spring,
That
this
looks
picture.
good. That looks very
Yeah.
good.
There's that Louisiana on the other side of the house again. There's that big needle palm. That was in 2022. I put some little cactus pictures on here. That was inside this newest bed. But why did I just I'm I've got thousands and thousands of pictures. I grabbed some and put them on here just so people can see. Plant some cactuses, put them in your beds where you have room, and they look cool, and you can get some decent flowers out of them as well. Another cactus picture. If I lived where you did, Tom, maybe I would just only grow palms, but I'm too cold, so I have to grow other stuff.
I
Here's
understand.
a here's a nice shot inside the greenhouse. This is really current. This is from maybe a month or two ago. This big wood stove is what keeps everything alive.
It's
So if
amazing.
everybody hasn't seen my YouTube videos that are watching this, check out my YouTube. I've got show videos of all the pictures that I've posted, and especially in my greenhouse. All this stuff in here is for sale. Check out my eBay. I'll sell you whatever I've got, except for the wood stove. I got to keep that. Here's out front of the greenhouse. These are 3 gallon Sabal miners. I potted those up this spring from 1 gallon. Those are 3 gallon Sabal miners I potted up last year from 1 gallon. So these are ready to go. These are the ones I'm selling this year. There's a Cylindra puntia. That's what that looks like when it flowers. There's a bunch of milkweed and a yucca alifolia in there on the right. Yucca filamentosa on the left. Little copper bird bath. Some other things to mix in with your palms. Obviously, there's palms to the left and right of this picture. There's community pot of some Sabal Louisianas. That's what I think generally yours and mine look similar when we dump them out and pot them up. That's a 3 gallon though of Sabal Louisiana I got from Frank Glavin. There's some Sabal Bermudana community pot. That's a 3 gallon as well. Hesperella parviflora right in front with the flowers. Got a bunch of milkweed around. This is another one of my beds. It's what things can look like when they start to fill in. There's that palmetto again, the big one. This might have been after this winter. I think this was, yeah, early spring. Let's see. Start to shoot through some of these. This is where that McCurtain is in the back. So all those pictures that I've been showing of the McCurtain, it's completely hidden now. You can't even see it anymore.
Wow.
What you can see are the flower stalks sticking up, the inflorescence there. And then this is the Birmingham on the right. Now it's starting to look like something again. Um,
At what temperature did your Birmingham have issues? And what happened?
um, it's in here somewhere in these pictures. I need to start shooting through here so we're not taking so much time. It posted all these pictures out of order, but that -4 is what really hurt it really bad a few years ago. And it just literally plowed it to the ground, lost completely defoliated, lost every leaf on it, and it's been slow to recover. So I would say it would generally take mild damage when we would go to like 5 degrees because that would used to be our cold or our low temperature over like an average over every winter was like 5. It would take like maybe 20% leaf damage with no protection. But then with no protection that year that we went to -4 and stayed below freezing for a week, it just creamed that thing to the ground.
That sounds awful.
Oh man, it was terrible. Before the greenhouse, this is inside my basement. This was where I kept all my plants over the winter time. Remember that, Tom?
I remember that. I do. That's I did the same thing in my garage, so I
Our
understand.
humble beginnings, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You can see, let's put shelves in because I had nowhere else to put all this stuff. Yeah. All right, so this is that Sabal, Louisiana that I keep showing pictures of it. This is what it can look like when we get really, really cold. Now, it didn't burn any of these leaves back, but the cells in the leaves will freeze and it'll turn dark colors like that. And then as soon as it warms up, they just turn back to normal. Really weird. But I'm sure a lot of people watching this have noticed. I think you've had some stuff like that happen on your palms too, haven't you, Tom?
Yeah. And it depends on the miners and stuff like that. They come back fine, but oftentimes the one thing I always caution is everybody after it warms back up again, they're like, "Oh, everything's getting back to green." But then you realize that a week or two later, if it's meant to die, it'll turn brown again and it'll perish.
Yeah, see here's a screenshot I did back then. This was like three or no, 3 or 4 winters ago. This is when we went to that -4. And then after that, stayed below freezing for an entire week. That really caused a lot of damage here.
That's
Yeah, you
cold,
can.
man. That's a long, long duration cold too. That's a
Yeah, so
problem.
this is that. This is my big Birmingham, and this is what it looked like after that cold. You can see the petioles got smoked. That's what it looked like after that winter. So here's McCurtain, Sable Miner McCurtain on the right. No damage, like zero. No, like no damage at all. And here's the Birmingham, just completely smoked to the ground. Is that no? Sorry, I got my pictures wrong. That's palmetto. Sorry.
Okay.
Yep, that's palmetto. Unprotected. Um,
At what temps?
that that wasn't the -4. I think that was -1 that it went to that year. But we stayed below freezing for a week again. But this is what a palmetto looks like unprotected at my house. After just a normal winter, basically.
Yeah.
So this is what I was talking about with like
Yep.
your Bermudanas, like yours look better than this.
Yeah.
But I've got to treat palmetto as like a dieback perennial here if I don't protect them.
Yep.
Here's Louisiana again, looking crazy. Bunch of seeds. 2023. That's my son in front of it. I'll start to rip through some of these pictures more. This is before the greenhouse. So I had everything in that picture showing in my basement.
Yeah.
And then this was the other part of my basement where I just put all these palm trees in here. It's just so crazy, man, the stuff that we were doing. Yep. And there's what my view is outside my kitchen window in the wintertime. More winter pics. Yeah, so that's that palmetto again. This is what January 18th, 2024. So yeah, we for sure what happened was like January we probably didn't get that cold, but then
February.
in February is when we got rocked, I think.
I remember that year.
Here's that Louisiana again, Stratas. Um, this is current. Here, I think we're getting close to the end. Yeah, these are this is like from today. I took this picture. This is the back side of the greenhouse, obviously, and the beds, what everything looks like. Yep. Yeah, so this is what I was saying. Here's milkweed. Here's that
Copper bird
bird.
bath.
Yep, bird bath. And then Sable, Louisiana, right here on the left. Here's Sable Miner from Gary's Nursery on the right over here. So you can diversify your landscape, mix other plants in. and everything blends together and looks really cool. That's what those palmettos look like today. I took that picture this morning just for this. Remember what they started out as, looking small.
That's a great size, man.
Yeah, I like it, especially like because they're lifted up in that raised bed, it gives them more height, you know?
Yeah,
And yeah, I brushed past them going into my basement door right here. I love them. And
that's
that's
really
what
cool.
I think we were talking about that the other day. Like, if not, we've talked about this 100 times. People have this weird misconception where they think you only have a sable palmetto if you have a sable palmetto with 10 foot of clear trunk.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
why? Even if you've got a seedling of sable palmetto, you still have sable palmetto. If you have sable palmetto that are these size, where people think like, there's tons of people say these are like juveniles or whatever, even seedlings, people call them. Yeah, they're young palmettos, but they're still a palmetto. You
Yeah.
get to, you still have them. I don't know why people are weird like that. Like, they don't consider it a palm if it's not big.
Unless
I
it
don't know.
falls off the back of a truck and has 10 feet of trunk, it's not a palm, right?
I guess. Here's that sable row. This is what it looks like today. Everything's filled in. Starting from the right, you've got Brazoriensis. Then you've got a sable minor in front of that. Right to the left of that is another Brazoriensis, sable minor. Uh, then it is, what's the next one? Blackburniana, maybe? Yep,
Mm.
Blackburniana from Plant Delight. So that's the one that's a
Is
little iffy.
that's the one right there? Is that one still doing well?
Oh yeah, that's it today. That's what it looks like today.
Man, I'll get into that when you hand it over to me, but I really wonder how much of that actually is a blackburniana. So do other people.
That's yeah, yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I'm just, saying what I bought it
I
as. Like
know. I
the
know.
the base is thickening up a little bit here,
Interesting.
but you can see like all these leaves went through winter. There's no damage on them at all. These are just older leaves down here that have a little bit of damage. And then you can see the flower stalks up here.
Is that the
So
blackburniana or no?
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, you did say yours was flowering.
Yep.
Man,
Yep, that's it.
I'm not trying to like toss any shade at anybody, but that's I'm not really sure that that's a blackburniana. Just gonna put that out there.
No, I'm not arguing at all with you. I agree with you.
I know.
Um, especially because yours that we know is for whatever Blackburniana is, we're more convinced that yours is the real thing, and it took some damage this winter.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
mine takes zero damage, and I'm a lot colder winters than you, and it's flowering and it's pre-trunk, so
I
take it for
have
what it is.
I have two of those. I bought them the same time as you at Plant Delights.
Yep. You
So
still have them in the ground?
I do. Neither one is flowered. But they're very it almost it's not a palmetto, I'll tell you that. They look very different. They're too stiff. I
Yeah.
don't know what they are, but I don't think it's a blackburniana.
Here is that Louisiana that I've said, hey, this is Louisiana about 300 times today already. That's what
Hmm.
it looks like today. So you can see the base on it. Leaves are massive. The deck right there is 8 feet, so it's starting to get pretty big. You can see the leaves up there touching it. And then right above it is that Birmingham, and that thing is getting just incredibly big this year. This is really good growing season for it. That's
Probably
kind of what
one of my favorite palms is the Birmingham. Big fan of the
agreed
Birmingham.
for
Big
sure.
fan.
This was a few weeks ago when everything still had their inflorescence on them, and I went around and cut everything off yesterday actually. All the ones that were done flowering that I'm not going to keep the seeds for. But you can see from the progression from the start, this is what my landscape looks like now. Really filled in, jungly, looks crazy. A lot different from when it was just grass. Yeah, there's that Birmingham. Is that? No, that's not from today though. Yeah, the pictures are going out of order again.
Yeah.
Yep, that's current. That's from today. That's what those avada look like. And then these sable miners down in the front. You remember where those are from, Tom?
Oh, I do. Are those the ones that you bought like 8,000 of?
Yeah, yeah. I bought seven
RPS?
of them. No, 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 no. These are
Oh.
from Nearly Native Nursery.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, yep,
Oh, in Georgia. Yeah, yeah. In
yep.
Douglasville, Georgia, or something like that, right?
And they've never gotten bigger. They're just this like super small. They're not a super dwarf like a Blountstown, but they're small though.
Interesting.
Yep,
They always have some strange, interesting ones over there, don't they?
yep. And then that's a picture I took from this morning. We'll end here for me, but I think that looks good for being in Tennessee. Um, I'm really happy with my landscape and how it turned out, and going from my humble beginnings that we saw in the beginning of these pictures.
I'd say it's impressive. I'd say it's
I
wildly
like it.
impressive.
It's cool, you know. I don't know, yeah. Not to toot my own horn, but if I didn't like what I had, I would dig it out and plant something else. But I think everything's really cool. I like it.
Nice
So
work,
that'll
man.
do it for me.
All right. So what I want to do is one, we'll hone in on a couple things. So, all right. This is, I think, interesting because so this is what year is this? This is 2022. So April of 2022, and I'm showing this on purpose. So this palm over here on the right is no longer there. This is now a green Uresana. This was bought as a Mexicana, but it burned so bad every single year it was not a Mexicana, so it got pulled. This is a Birmingham, and actually, I'll find a picture of this one recently. It's actually pretty amazing how gigantic this thing is. This is my biggest Louisiana at the time, right here in the middle. And let me see if I can use this pen. Hold on. How does this work? Can I
Oh,
draw?
you can see that's what
Oh,
is
there we
that,
go.
1 year after you planted your grass, or is that the same year?
This was the first year after they put the sod in there.
Yeah.
So this is my Louisiana. It was about that big when I planted it. This is over here a Brazoriensis on the left side, a blue form. This is our Birmingham, as I said. This now is a green Uresana. It's not that one. And then this is a
Your
Mexican.
Mexicana.
This is the
Yep.
biggest, this is my biggest Mexicana. And let me show you, how do I get out of here? Let me show
See,
you.
now you let me say one thing. You planted these very intelligently though, because as these mature, you're gonna get to like walk through this maze of palms and just have like pre-made pathways, you know?
Well, let me show you once this thing at the top of the screen goes away. This is, oh man, how do I get rid of the annotations? I don't want the annotation anymore. Hold on. Oh, here we go. All right. So this is the exact same palms now. From here. So here's the Louisiana. This is the Louisiana.
Hmm.
Here's the Birmingham. This is the Birmingham.
Oh yeah.
Here's the Brazoriensis. There's the Brazoriensis. Now, I'll show you the Mexicana here in a moment. So, this is the Mexicana, like you said. At the time I bought this thing, I didn't really know a sable from a trachea. I had no clue. But I bought this sable. This is a Mexicana. I bought it at this size locally. I don't even know for how much. I want to say somewhere between 75 and $100 or something like that. Maybe a little bit more. So this was when it was planted, yeah, in December of 2020, just a couple of months before the February Arctic blast. The next picture is it in this is probably in March, April, almost. So after our historic freeze. And there's some pictures in between here that I missed, but this thing was burned. This was burned down to nothing. It went down to the ground. I marked it, and you could tell like it was browning out. People on Palm Talk are like, "Get rid of it. It's not going to make it.
Yep.
Throw it in the garbage." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm going to mark it." Then this is it today.
Incredible.
And oh,
Dude,
here's another one in between. This is February of 2023. And then I think I have one more somewhere of the trunk. Hold on, where is it?
dude, it's incredible. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look at that thing.
It's finally beefing up now. And
Yep.
I'm a huge fan of this thing. This thing is an awesome, awesome palm. I don't have as many good progression photos as you, but like, you know,
No way. You've got tons, dude. You just didn't find them.
no, well, I have to go through them. Like I have so many pictures of like my kids and my wife
Yeah, yep.
always and my family always laughs because I seem to have more photos of my palms than I do my family. But you can see
Yeah.
like what these look like after a nasty winter. This actually has the ice on there still. So you can see this thing was ice was had the ice on there. How do I go back? Come on, man. You're killing me.
Maybe it's something about Texas, honestly. Like no joke. I'm not even being funny. Maybe it's something because Mexicana is native to Texas,
Yeah.
but it should not have survived that first winter. Like
I
I'm
wouldn't think so.
serious.
I wouldn't think so.
It was
Um,
how it wasn't even rooted in. You planted it in December.
in December. Here's the Birmingham.
Man, looking good.
This is the Birmingham, and it actually has an inflorescence. This one does. The other 12 or 13 do not. But this is another one. So for anybody who's looking for something tough in zone 8, you definitely want to be looking at a Mexicana. Like as they get older, uh, Tonys look awesome. But you can see like this is the damage that comes after the winter time. So, I get some brown, but now it's already
Mhm.
replacing all the brown with brand new fronds. And it doesn't I never defoliate completely. At one point I did, but I don't defoliate completely anymore. In the beginning I did a couple times. It was depressing because it just got burned down to the ground. Here's our Lisa back in 2020. See the
It's
ice
on
on this rock?
it's on its deathbed, right? How many
Yeah,
times have you heard that?
yeah, I know. It always is on his deathbed. This is that gigantic one that's up on my outdoor kitchen now that you can't even see. It's like 12 feet tall now.
Dude,
That
that might be my favorite palm that you have, honestly.
I have to find a photo of that because now we're talking about it.
No,
Uh,
that I honestly I'll say that is my favorite palm that you've got.
so because we talked about it earlier, here's our biggest, our Bermudana. So this is the one right in front of my office right here, and you could see it's actually gotten better. It was at one point it burned 100% of everything, and it seems
Yeah.
as though it's getting a little bit better. But man, I think I have some. Oh, here's the other one in the yard. This one did actually better than the one by the house.
Is
So
when is that? When's that picture? When did you take that?
on the 1st of July, so
Oh, okay, okay,
a
okay.
few days ago. This is
But
the
even
other
but it
Bermudana.
still had green after winter, obviously.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely, it did. Oh, because you showed yours. Here's my largest Aristrata.
Oh yeah.
And then what's funny is check this out. So literally on the other side of the sidewalk, this one's like half the size.
Weird.
Look at that. Isn't that
Hmm.
cool? I don't know if it's the extra couple hours of sunlight or what it is, but this one just is very, very different in size. But all these are
Oh,
like these are newer photos. So I showed you the our Louisiana, which was pretty small in the beginning. So this one right here, that's this palm right here.
incredible.
I mean, it's really, really filled out. I love this palm. Uh, it's got a nice little trunk. It's actually pushing now. Here's the green Uresana. If you guys aren't growing a green Uresana in zone 8, I think you're crazy because these are just phenomenal palms. This thing does so well. This is the one that you got me at Gary Holler's, and you sent this to me like 3 years ago or something, and I kept it in a pot
Nice.
in the garage for 2 years. But
Yeah.
this is what it looked like the other day when I planted it last July or August after its first winter. Like almost no damage minus just a little bit of the older stuff, but it is absolutely a tank. Here's a silver Urasana, from the haul I got last year at my buddy's place. And the Dominguensis is right here too. Our Valdosta Dominguensis. This one you could is just it's getting so large from side to side. And I'm gonna find some older photos too, but where's my palmetto? Oh, here it is. Here's my palmetto.
Yeah, that one's
It's
getting big finally.
it's got a great size to it. It's been neglected, never touched or anything. Here's the other Birmingham I have. They all seem to be very happy and filling out. So that's the rosii, which evidently people think is a minor, uh, which it's not a minor. Doesn't it's just it's not a minor,
Everything about it, it's not.
huh?
It just everything about it.
I know.
We dissected this thing like it's just not a minor. It
No.
just takes time. Like the one that I took that picture, or well, I think Tom took the picture of me in front of it um at Aquinas. It took forever to get to the size that it is now,
Yeah.
and it grows in a different fashion. Like it doesn't go straight vertical like a palmetto does. Um, it kind of like goes sideways first, and then it's just slowly stacking height. And you can tell by the look of that one that he took the picture of me in front of.
So this is what 2022. So this would have been going out of winter, and you're gonna see all my photos here, all my dumb photos. But this is what my yard looked like. So here's another angle of the the Louisiana is here, the Mexicana is here. This is another blackburniana, I believe. But like I didn't have a yard. And so you just contrast that with the other photo I showed you of the yard. So that's an in between. But like we didn't have a yard. Like I literally built this entire yard from essentially
Mhm.
absolutely nothing. And we have our wall right here. Like our yard is kind of rough in some spots, but we here's the first year actually that I really worked on the business. So these are all the seeds we initially germinated, and this is how I germinated them, right? And now I just t toss a bunch of seeds in a community pot and hope for the best. Uh,
Yep.
but you could see here's the Mexicana again, 2022. Man, I've taken so many photos of my palms. It's not even funny. Here's the front part of our house before we did any landscaping. I'll have to find another one, but all this stuff is completely filled in now. You literally can't even like walk in this area. There's so much stuff in that area now. Here is our trip to Georgia and Nearly Native. Let's see where else. Oh, so here's the riverside that Riverside. I don't. I think it's a Louisiana, but this guy is huge. Here's Sable Wall or Row, if you will. So th this is interesting. This is a buddy here in Dallas who's no longer here, but here's all of his sables that he had, and I got a bunch of stuff off of him. Um, you can see he's got
Oh,
some.
this is the guy where you got the big ones from?
Yeah, this is Mike's place. So this is years ago though. So this is 2022. I have some newer ones, but I want to say this was a palmetto, I believe, maybe, or a Bermudana, either one of the two. But he had a whole bunch of hybrids too. That was his jam.
Hmm.
But that's where I brought home our Butia jubea,
Jeez.
which now is like a monster.
Yeah,
Uh
that thing's incredible now.
Yeah, dude, I've got so many photos. I mean, so one of the, and here's some more progression shots of the year. Every,
Mexicana.
it's so nice that everything, once you do it, things just begin to fill in. Like all of these, what's crazy as I look back now, where is, so this is a Birmingham. So this is actually, where is it? This is this Birmingham when it was actually planted. Like
Hmm.
I planted so many palms, literally the size of that or smaller.
And yeah, that's what I was talking about. What I said in the beginning, before I started even showing the pictures
22.
was everybody watching like. Tom, what did your not to quote her, but what did your wife used to call all of your palms just your blades of grass,
Or
right?
blades of grass. I mean, I planted so many. I was happy. I was happy if I had, oh, here's our, this is the blackburniana from PDN. I know because of the
Okay,
tag.
okay.
But like
Yep.
I was so happy to just finally scour the internet and find them at this size. Like I didn't here's our Louisiana as it began to get a little bit larger now. And I was just happy to find them like this size. I didn't complain. Uh
Oh yeah.
I was thrilled. I mean, if
Yeah,
I
no, there
could,
was no way to complain because that's all that there was.
yeah.
There was no options like there is today. I couldn't go on the internet and go to sableking.etsy.com and buy all kinds of cool plants.
I'm gonna find some other ones here. So here's the blackburniana that I got from SoCal. This one actually, I have some photos I'll show you. This is the one that for the first year had some cryptic damage and then just has kind of struggled, but now it's actually growing. But
Yeah.
about the size that I got it at. So, I mean, over the years, here's the Mexicana. This is what, 2024? Oh, 22. So, I mean, I really enjoy being able to get stuff from a small size and to grow it out. I just don't, I don't know. I don't complain, I guess.
No, but it's part of it, and we've said this before. If you just, of course, I like bigger palms also, and so do you, and so does everybody. But if you just go to a big size, you're missing out on all those learning lessons of what temperature does it take damage?
Yes.
What temperature does it take damage when it's small versus when it's big and more mature size? How much growth are you going to get when you give it fertilizer and when it rains a lot this year, or when it doesn't rain a lot and you have to hose water? Like all these things, you just you're going through like elementary school, high school, and then college, and getting your master's degree in growing plants by doing it from a small size. It's too important.
Yeah. I I have some other pictures I gotta find at some point
I
of
want to
like,
see that the one next to your
let me find it.
that
Hold on.
big massive unknown one next to your outdoor kitchen.
Yeah, let me find it. Hang on. Let's scroll through everything. You can see every
What
chicken picture.
what do you think that is? Do you think it's a Louisiana,
I think
or
so.
what do you think?
It looks very similar to the Louisiana in the yard. I think so. It is going to be interesting though. Where is it? It is going to be interesting though. Its base seems wider than my other Louisiana. So, I mean, I think it's a Louisiana. Its fronds get damaged like a Louisiana. Here, let me share.
Holds an incredible amount of leaves though.
It does. It does.
Like
I don't. So that's what it is now. See if I can find another one. So here's another one of it. It's just
yeah,
huge.
there's so many leaves on that thing, it's not even funny.
And
Like
so
it
here's
doesn't like the picture doesn't do it justice. It looks smaller than in that picture, but it's massive.
It's a big palm. It is right now. This frond over here is probably somewhere over here up on my smoker, and this one is hanging probably 3 feet or so into the grass. It really is. It's got a gigantic crown on it. It's really, really big. So it was labeled a riverside. I don't think it's a riverside by any means, but the base is getting ginormous. So. Man, it's funny. Like I look at some of these photos, I'm gonna come back and forth here as I find. I don't have them quite as organized. These are all just like on my Google Photos. But here's my blackburniana. This is the one
The
that
so
we sell up in the shop.
the
And
SoCal.
yeah, that's the SoCal one. And this is a Warren, Arkansas minor. And it's funny because everybody has a blackburniana. Actually, that was the palm I was gonna talk about a little bit here today. Here's my saw palmetto. I love this thing. Absolutely. It's now got five trunks or so. I love this
Looks
thing.
great. Where'd you get that one from?
Oh
Do you
man.
remember?
Probably James, I think, actually.
Yeah.
I think I got a couple from him, but I love that thing. What's weird is this year it got, I think, probably more damage than it has. And by that I mean like this on
Yeah.
some of the outer ones, but everything else, this thing looks awesome, man. I am
No, the
really very
color is
happy.
beautiful.
The color's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I love this thing. Um, Emerald Isle Giants,
Mm.
they really are
I always
big.
forget, dude. Yeah, you showed that a few years ago. Like the how densely packed they are with seeds is unreal. I've never seen.
This right here, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Ah, there we go.
How heavy was that thing when you cut it? Like
Very heavy. It was it
10
was
pounds?
it was so heavy, man. It took a two-man operation. It really is. These things are awesome, man. Like they part of I always talk about spacing and trying to make sure you have the right spacing, and that's definitely one, man. 5 years later, I think those weren't even a gallon back when I bought them. They were like maybe a liner size. They were not that big at all. But man, they have grown. Here's my Canariensis that's going to go to the ranch. I
Nice.
raised this thing from a very young age. This thing was also, I want to say, a liner size. And I just haven't had a spot to ever put it. I
I
have,
gotta get I gotta get some Warren, Arkansas seeds from you this year. I don't even want to grow them out to sell, but I want to grow some for here to
I'll give you as
plant.
many as you want. This is my blackburniana. So you can see this is its third year in the ground, I believe. Some of the older fronds perish, but you can see this thing is on its fourth frond since the beginning of this year. This thing's a
Yeah,
rocket.
because this one took some damage this year, you said, right?
A little bit, yeah. So what?
Versus other years.
Yes, yeah. But these things have been have been, I'd say, reliable here in Dallas, but it's just fast. It's very, very quick. I got a lot of these in the shop, so if you're looking for, a very interesting Caribbean sable that has done well here in Dallas, I don't want to give it the stamp of approval yet, but it's one of those ones where it grows so, so fast. And I was telling Tom about this not long ago that for a while I was like, maybe these are like a Bermudana, but when you look at the speed of the Bermudana and you look at the speed of this Blackburniana and leaf hardiness, they're not the same. They just are not the same. Here's my other Blackburniana from James. This one, I don't even know where he got this one from originally. This one has never taken damage. And this year it took a bunch of damage. And then it almost didn't actually grow out of the damage. It sat there for a while. And thankfully, all the rain and once the heat cranked up, it started to push all the damage out and now it's fine. But I'll probably have to help it along this year in the wintertime, probably just at least cover it maybe or something like that. It
That
can't
looks
take
weird.
that.
But go back to one of the other pictures, like the first picture of it. Keep going. Yeah, that we'll go one more. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
That's weird because if you look at the older fronds, there's some that have no damage
I
basically, or
know.
like just tiny tip damage. So I wonder what happened with that. Maybe not even cold damage, maybe something different, like fungal or something weird.
It may have been. It may have been. This thing has been it's been reliable. Like it has never suffered or had any issues. So it was a little bit odd that that happened to it. So here's for anybody who's looking for palms. This is, as I mentioned, this is the painstaking work that we always talk about. But starting to get through these community pots, man, I have a probably a 3 or a 5 gallon, probably a 5 gallon from of Mexicanas, and they are probably 10 inches tall at this point. And I know the longer I wait, the harder it's going to be. So I need to get to potting those up, but I'll get back to those. I sold those pretty quickly. Those are over here on the left side. I had a pot that had like 9 or 10 of them. And then here's the Burke County ones. And what's interesting, I took this on purpose. You have your Tamaulipensis. Look at the color difference. I think I have a shot here. Hold on, where is it? not this one here. So here's like the blue of the Tamaulipensis, and then you can
Yeah.
see the Burke County is this very light, very soft kind of green, lime green. Just two different palms. I made the comment on the post on Facebook when you grow 2,000 plus a year, you see all these crazy variations and all the trends and stuff like that. So, I really enjoy doing that because it helps me to appreciate some of the stuff I have. This is a palmetto causiarum hybrid. If you guys don't have these, I have them. I have a couple still left in the shop, but this is the longest strap leaf I've ever seen in my life and the biggest strap leaf ever. This
That's
thing is,
crazy.
this thing is, I have ones in the shop like this that are still in nursery bags. They're like half the size of this, but this
Yeah.
thing came out of a nursery bag earlier this year, and it put all of this on throughout this whole year.
Hmm.
Unbelievably fast. I've got two out in the yard. One is in my backyard, already characteristic leaves, planted from the exact same size as these. They are incredibly fast, incredibly fast.
No kidding.
Let's see what else I got. I mean, here's what they all look like as we separate them. This is this is our weekends, man. Painstakingly separating palms.
Yeah.
Let me find something else to show you. But yeah, I mean, I'm like you. I take a lot of photos, I guess. Probably too many, maybe.
Yeah.
Here's this is one of the
Too
ones
many, too many of plants, maybe.
possibly. Let me show you this one. This one, I think, here's another one that for anybody in zone 8, if you're not growing this, I think you're nuts. So this is our Miamiensis. This one has
Yeah.
literally never taken damage. And if I could find a photo of this thing, man, I'd have to look. But I planted this thing. It probably couldn't be any larger than like, I want to say maybe this one right down here is Birmingham. I want to say I planted it in 2020. It would have been the same year that I got the Butea jubea. So that would have been 2022, maybe 23. But it almost felt for years like this Miamiensis sat here and sat here and sat here, and it really never leapt. And then last year, it started to look really, really nice. And this year, it's like I wake up and this thing is just, it's freaking, it looks so good, dude. This is one of my favorites as well.
The
Beautiful.
color on it in that other picture is crazy. It looks like
Oh, yeah, here.
man, it almost looks like uh silver saw palmetto.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you can see the damage it gets from our winter. It's got some
Yeah,
spotting, and that's
sure.
rain too, but that's rain. There is some spotting. It burned a little bit. Some of the older stuff burned like a smidge, but I really love this palm. It's right next to our Nanorops, which has done absolutely nothing, although now it's actually growing, and I don't have any photos of that one. But yeah, like here's the Miamiensis.
Yeah, it's right there. Another year and you'll be big for sure.
I love this poem, man. I love it. And
I mean,
again,
there's a reason why people don't grow it. It is hard to find though, for sure.
yeah, I mean, if you're looking for it, I've got it, guys. Come out to the shop.
Of course. But where could you find one 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
I found one locally at Mike's place, and that was about pretty much it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going through photos from like a long time ago. This is wild. Um, I'm gonna try to show as much as I can from like older days, but there's just so much in between of I need to like pull these out and separate these out so it's not like my family pictures and stuff like that because no one
Yeah,
wants to see that.
I went through a lot of effort to extract those pictures. I don't know why I'm not like uh computer illiterate. But maybe it was because my iPhone just didn't work well with my HP laptop, but like I couldn't just transfer my pictures over. It wouldn't let me do it. So I had to email them to myself. There was like a whole process.
Oh my gosh, that
But
sounds terrible.
Oh, it was terrible. But um, it made me realize I have a lot of work to do because I want it to be organized and I want to get a lot of stuff off my phone anyways.
Yeah, I try to do Google Photos. I try to, what's painstaking is going from my personal thing over to Google or over to my actual Sable King one where I don't have to worry about actually showing you guys pictures of me or my children. This is the
Yeah.
mystery miner or the Louisiana, I guess. This was probably a year after I planted it.
Oh, back
It's
when it was Riverside still.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty fast growing though. So I don't think it's a minor. It's too quick to be a minor, and it gives me vibes of Louisiana.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
I've never seen a miner that looks like that.
Oh,
Like,
check this out. Here's an older photo of Arbutia jubea.
it's crazy looking at that for how big it is now is unreal. How tall is that? How tall is it now?
Oh my gosh, dude. It's probably I can see it
Like
from the
10
bedroom
feet,
window.
nine
No,
feet?
it's probably 15 feet, 10
No,
feet. It's probably
oh
12
man.
to 15 feet. Yeah. We have to get
Wow.
on top of our A-frame ladder. I think our 12-foot ladder to get like up to the top of it. And then when you take all the petioles and like tie it up, then it gets really, really tall. So covering that thing is absolutely a chore.
Mm.
It's a chore. Trying to find a picture of it recently so I can give you a and the photos of when I got it to what it looks like now is oh here it is. Here's some of the fruits. Check this out. Here's the trunk.
Mm.
It's a big boy. Here's some fruit. So I'll be eating some
The color on that thing too is crazy, like
yeah,
electric blue.
yeah. Yeah, it's Tony's Louisiana. So those are the ones that our Louisiana comes from in the shop.
Man, Tony's doing something. We got to get him on the show, man. I need to talk to Mr. Sorbonne. I
He's a
don't
rock
know what,
star.
man. His pictures, his progression pictures are insane. Like, I don't understand. I get people, there's different levels of growing plants, but he's like just so nonchalant, like, oh yeah, that was 5 years. And it went from just saying 5 years, a random number, but like he showed his picture of like his Louisiana when he planted it, like a 5 gallon to like this. And it's like, it doesn't seem like the time should work, right?
No.
It's too fast. It's like too fast.
But it's obviously legit and it's a beautiful poem. He sent me so it's funny. I made the comment that I'm almost like out of all my Louisianas
Yeah.
from him and he sent me a whole bag of seeds and it was in the mail. It was hot and the inside of the bag was like so humid and hot and I put them in a community pot and dozens were already germinating. I'm like, this is going to be easy.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're
Yeah, that's
already
good.
a fresh crop all ready to go. This
Oh
one,
yeah.
this one is, hold on, this one I think it is. Uh, this is either this is the Riverside from uh in SoCal. So I have these up in the shop as well, and I have the blackburniana. They're with the same person. I think that's the Blackburniana, and the Riverside is this one, is the larger one of the two. This
Got
is
something funky in the back.
hmm?
What is that? I wonder what that palm is on the back right. Looks crazy.
Is that not a Bismarckia?
Oh yeah, might be, yeah.
That's a busy, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Southern California. Must be nice to grow plants there.
I gotta tell you, man. Um, and so before we end this, I was gonna show you something too as well. So I've tried well, two things now. You talked about humble beginnings, and I always look back to this stuff. Do you remember these
Oh
days?
yeah. Oh yeah. All too well.
The days of everything was out in my garden. I built these PVC frames to hold stuff together, which I don't even know why I did that. I did it to organize so I can put all of one thing in this square, all of another thing in this square. And then, as the years went by, I had square upon square upon square. I didn't know what the heck to do with anything. And initially, I had the best idea. I was like, I'm going to use these little plant tags here, and just by the color, I'll know what they are. And then you
Yeah.
have like 18 species, and then I was going from like color with one hole in it, color with two holes in it. I was having to be inventive about stuff. Now I have the oil pen, obviously. That makes a heck of a difference. But it's just I appreciate seeing this is kind of how it all started.
No, yeah, it's the same thing that I was doing in my driveway, like that picture that I showed. You just have nowhere else to put them. But at the same point, like I wasn't and you weren't either. We weren't going to be stopped. We knew what we wanted to do, and we
Yep.
just kept growing plants. And the greenhouse came when it was time, you know?
Oh, it was time, all right. Let me show you this. Let me show you this one last progression photo, and then we'll end this episode because we've gone through so many pictures. I think next time we should probably like take a couple of species and just hone in again on some of those. So
Yeah, I agree.
this is my Emerald Isle giant. They were all about this size. I want to say what year was this? 23. They were this probably was their second year in the ground, maybe their first year in the ground after the first winter. And then this is them now.
Hmm, unreal.
And you're right. There's I've never seen the densely packed inflorescences like this. Like this one always really stands out to me.
No, it's incredible. I must have cut off 30 in fluorescence yesterday. So I've had a lot of tables that produce seeds for a lot of years now. I've never seen one as densely packed as that. That's unreal.
It's pretty, yeah, I like that one.
Hmm.
All right. We've been talking way too long here. So, what do we got going on? So people hopefully are listening to the episode now of Rob McElwee. I thought that was awesome. 150-pound watermelon. That was a great time. Enjoyed myself.
I was thinking about that before we got on here. So for all the different varieties of palms that we grow and other plants, um, there's it's a dumb analogy, but everybody will know what I'm saying. It's like Pokemon, like the game. Like you have to collect them all. You got to collect them all. Look at Rob though. He has 350 varieties of roses. So
It's
he's
wild.
playing the same game we are, just with different plants, you know?
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you a question actually before we end this. So, you made a comment earlier, and I think this has been hotly debated, but I think there are genuses that can spear pull and will come back from a spear pull. Like our saw palmetto spear pulled, I think the first 2 years, no problem. Needle palms, no problem. I think butias, we've had them happen, no problem.
Windmills.
Windmills, no problem. Chamaerops, no problem. I think generally it's thought that like sables are not one of those genuses that really will come back from a spear pull. I know some people will say if it spear pulls, it's dead, just go toss it. So this is an example of, um, you know, this happened by accident. This is not on purpose, but this is a Birmingham that I had up on the shelf in the greenhouse, and it spear pulled, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna toss this thing, and it's so deceiving because both of the outside fronds were actually still green, and it spear pulls. So you're like, well, this is weird. Why wouldn't the older stuff die, but the newer growth died? I don't know. But what I noticed was I spear it had the spear pole, and I just picked it up and I set it over to the side of my greenhouse where I call it the graveyard for anything that dies. I just put it over to the side, and then I take it in my wagon, bring it back to where all my potting soil is. And so I have that stuff just actually sitting there. And I don't water any of that stuff. That stuff is just, it died, it's sitting there, it's awaiting to be transported over to the ground and dead. And I was watering stuff yet the other day, And I look over and I'm like, wait, isn't that dead Birmingham that I haven't watered in like a month that spear pulled? And sure enough, it pushed out some new growth.
No kidding.
No water,
Huh.
complete neglect, literally zero anything. So I've been watering it. I've been loving it, but it's just an example of I thought that the prevailing sentiment is that a Birmingham that's or any sable that spear pulls is generally dead. And I just want to say that it's not necessarily the case. I didn't prove this out on purpose. This was on accident. But this thing shocked me. I mean, I literally didn't water this thing for the last month. Rain has been pretty minimal lately, and it has been hot, like real hot. This thing probably dried out in its pot for 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks solid.
Really weird. I mean, like I'm just thinking about it in the greenhouse, like I usually have my wife go through and she'll trim like brown fronds and I'll tell her just to grab like I still have this thing where I'm like, just like you know, we want to keep everything. So I kind of make her, I'm like, if something's dead or doesn't look good, just pull it and just go dump it, you know. Um, and man, I'll do that all the time. And it's not like I'm killing a lot of palms, but like if you put 40 or 50 up on the shelf of one kind, one or two are just gonna go. Like it just is what
Of
it is,
course.
you
Of
know.
course.
And I don't even think twice about it. Like, oh, it's dead, just rip the bag open, dump it, and toss it, and that's it. But
Yep.
yeah, that's interesting. Like,
I didn't
especially in that
expect
case
that.
because like where's it getting the energy to regrow a new leaf from?
I'm telling you, man, I've made this comment before, but I'm telling you, rain is obviously good. They need water, 100%. But at the
Mhm.
same time, I've noticed that water is great, but they're definitely sables need heat. And there is a big difference when they start cranking, when it gets 90, 95 outside, like we've been getting lately, you can tell things just change. Things just they change. And the growth really blows up. Absolutely blows up. You can tell. I mean, some of the stuff I have out there now, I'm like, wow, it is like when did all this stuff start growing like this? It's incredible.
No, you're spot on. There's, something to that. Like, remember our talk with Jeff Anderson? He doesn't get barely any rain, but guess what he does have in abundance? Heat. So, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. So this is Arbutia jubea, the other just a few weeks ago. That's how big it is.
Unreal.
It's now gotten larger. So it's a big palm. It's a
What a
big
good spot you put that in too.
Yeah, my kids want to walk around over here, but now like you can't. So you basically like walk through these all the fronds over here. But in the next year or so, if I can keep it alive, it's gonna just dude, this trunk, I can no longer wrap my hands around it at all. Not even close. It's huge. It's a beauty. I'm very proud of that palm. That palm is something that we've spent. I don't know, it's one of those ones where I want to protect it, and I do every single year just because I don't want to lose it, and maybe I don't have to. I don't know, but I do. I take care of it. But at some point, I'm
Hopefully,
not going to be able to.
hopefully that's one of those that it's getting harder with time. And you might get some leaf damage over the winter, but hopefully it'll hang on its own, when it
I
gets
think
too
so.
big is what I mean.
Yeah, I know. At some point, I can't do it. And I'm going to show one last thing, and then we'll be done. I promise. So this is our greenhouse. So this is the stuff that's up in the shop right now. These are the larger our Birminghams over here. Our Dominguenses are up in the front. All the smaller stuff's on the bottom. I'm gonna have to work on irrigation on the side so I don't have to go out there and hand water the sides anymore because I got the shelves down. Every bag has drip, which is amazing. But the stuff on the sides, every 2 days I come in here and I have to hand water still. But these Palmetto Cosmiarm hybrids. Um,
A good
these
size.
our Uresana, green Uresanas. These are awesome too.
Ooh,
These are all great sizes, man.
even
These are
those ones on
all,
the right. Yeah, well, those ones are still Uresana.
yeah.
Damn, those are nice.
These are palmetto causiarums. They're like popping through the shade cloth. That's those as well. These are the same thing, but the other side. I mean, these are all a really good size. These are a really good size palm. And the good thing is they still have room in the bottom of these nursery bags to keep growing for the next like 2 or 3 years if I wanted to. Here's the blackburniana. So for everybody out there who's looking for a blackburniana, check the shop out. Like these are a great size. I think my biggest problem is taking pictures enough to capture the growth to update my listings because I have to be out there every couple days because they
Yep,
grow so fast. Like these are this guy right here that wants to go in someone's ground, guys. It's
yep.
a big, big blackburniana. They're an excellent size. These are our younger, these are our Louisianas also getting to be to a size where they're popping up through the actual our shelves. I mean, these are all a really, really good size. These are our Lisas, our younger Lisa. I actually sold out of almost all of these already, but I got a whole nother pot of these coming as well. Here's our, these are the
Bald head
Bald
island.
Islands we planted last year. Just like
They are
always,
slow.
they're
Man,
very
they are
slow.
slow though.
They are. They are, but it's like if you're gonna get something cool, I mean, a Bald Head Island palmetto. So I think on the next show we should talk about the blackburniana, talk about the Bald Head Island, just like
Yep.
really go into that. There's our Louisiana's in the backyard, our Miamiensis is in the backyard. These are the ones that have perished that I just come by and pull. I'm like you. I tell my kids, I'm like, if you walk by something and it's dead, either take all the old stuff off and clip it off, or just get rid of it. If it's dead, it's dead. Like we have so many palms that these things have to get just kind of come and go. I don't have time to deal with stuff that's not alive. Atonia, these are slower than sin.
Yep.
Unbelievably
That's
slow.
one. That's one we need to do. Is I found maybe one or two pictures. I didn't take a lot of pictures of Myotonia that's in the ground, but obviously I know what it looks like now. I can take a current picture, and I found like one or two from years ago. But man, that thing, I'm with you. That is the slowest palm, like
It's terrible.
by and far. I don't understand it.
It is terrible, dude. It is absolutely so slow. Ours is next to our Miamiensis, and if you could believe they were planted at the same time, and the Atonia is probably like that tall, and the Miamiensis is like 7 feet tall at this point. And these Bermudanas, guys, if you want a Bermudana, I got some lovely, lovely Augusta Bermudanas. That's another one where I would think people are going to be trying to buy these left and right. But I'll say, with our experience here in Dallas, if you're in like a Dallas kind of zone, I'd say have a Bermudana and give them a shot. They're definitely worth it. Our Lohidianas, these are a great size
Nice.
too. So, yeah, man, check out Teddy's shop. Check out my shop. It's a great time in July to pick up some palms.
Yeah, we've got some stuff that overlaps a little bit, but usually in different sizes or from different locations. But for the most part, the stuff you've got, I don't have, and vice versa. So we're never in competition with each other. We always work together. Obviously, we know that. But just for anybody watching, check out Tom's shop first, check out mine next, and get yourself some cool plants.
All right, man. Well, next week, I think next week is Dr. Brown, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, yes, Dr.
It
Kyle
is,
Brown.
right? Yes. Yeah.
Man,
Next weekend. So Dr. Kyle Brown's going to be absolutely wild to hear some of those stories.
dude, we have had a stellar lineup. Um, I don't know what we're gonna do in 5 years, but at least right now, this year has been incredible, incredible with the guests.
I think we're going to continue to find some pretty cool guests, and we're going to have to wrangle the people that we know want to come on to have him come back on. So yeah.
For sure, for sure.
All right, man. Well, I guess we can end it off. So, Teddy, thank you as always. Appreciate the walk down memory lane. I love seeing what you've done. It's fantastic, man. I love it. I need to make a PowerPoint, how Jeff did, where it's like every area just a before and an after.
Yep.
And I think mine are going to start to look more exciting probably over the next 1 to 2 years, I think, because they're all starting to get huge and actually fill in together.
Yeah, I need to do the same as, you know, for whatever, if it was good or bad or whatever, from anybody's perspective today, it could always be better, and I need to get it more organized. I'm going to work on that.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Hope you have a good end of 4th of July. Happy birthday, America.
Oh
250
my
years.
gosh, yeah. Happy 4th of July to everybody, especially you, Tom.
Pretty fantastic. Thanks, dude. Likewise. So, this has been episode, I gotta say, it's not 21, episode 20.
I think it is.
No,
Is
no,
it
no,
21?
21. Sorry. I said
Okay.
22. It's episode 21 of the Palmcast. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining. Teddy, thank you. Enjoy and have a good rest of your weekend. And we'll see everybody next week.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.